Thank you, Adelina. Yesterday we were talking about the e-archiving domain, and I presented you these aspects of e-archiving. You remember the preservation, the migration, the reusing, the trust. I would like to take one further minute that it was foreseen, planned today, to explain one point about migration that I forgot to tell you yesterday. In preservation, I said that the only way of preserving properly is migrating every 5 to 10 years. Actually, that is not 100% correct. There are other ways of preserving which are not migration. When you think about applications, games, even geographical information systems, I mean not the data, but the systems, many times it is not possible just to migrate because there are no means to migrate. Think about the applications 20 years ago that are now part of our culture, about the video games, about some even phone applications that are already history. So the only way that they can be preserved is through emulation. That is another strategy other than migration. I wanted just to point that out because, you know, archivists are very precise and we must be. So it's preservation, migration, or emulation, reusing and trust. So there are two main objectives that we have with these 2 days, with this workshop. The first is, of course, making you aware that e-archiving exists, how to take it over, what components there are in, how you can use it, etc. The other objective is to reach wider. So far it was mostly almost restricted to national archives, but we thought that since it's a building block, it can be used by anyone. It can be used by any company, by any size, by any level of the public administration, any entity, and also in any domain. And this is one of the domains that we thought of, is geographical data. So can I ask you to raise your hands? How many of you used the GPS while coming here today or yesterday? Yeah. You see? And do you have it enabled now? Okay. Well, that is to show you that this is something that we are using every day. So if you are keeping your favorite restaurants, your favorite places in a place, you are archiving them. You are digitally archiving them. Actually, it's a bit strange to digitally archive a restaurant, but think about it, it makes sense. Actually, GPS is, it's a constellation of satellites from the US Army at the beginning. And they can shut it up whenever they want. That is why the European Commission pushed for our own constellation, which is Galileo, that is being done as we are here. So I think there are 7 or 8 satellites already up there, and there are foreseen 23 to 30, still not sure, but at least 23 to have a good coverage. Also, I can tell you that CEF eArchiving offers the specifications of geographical data, specifically geographical data, which are based on the very well-known INSPIRE directive from us, from the Commission. There was also an event of eArchiving last April in Ljubljana, and Rink was presenting there. He will be presenting something similar, I guess, today in a moment. Know another domain, and I have to ask you this. What is the bigger paper archive that you have at home? If it's me, it's, of course, it's about money. It's about invoices. The biggest paper archive that I have at home is about invoices, everything related to money, about the home, about the invoices, about the phone, about everything. And probably at work as well. So everything which is procurement, that are invoices, everything that is dealing with money is probably the biggest paper archive that you have. So why do you keep a paper archive and not a digital archive instead? So we are starting to receive some invoices digital. We are starting to pay them digitally, just with the phone or bank transfers or whatever. That's it. So, I mean, finance, taxation, etc., is the main thing, the main archives that we have today, and they are very prone to be digitized, of course. So today, I don't know, we are waiting for Ulrich, the head of unit from DigiTaxud, to make his presentation. And it's a very interesting presentation because they, at DigiTaxud, they took over CEF eArchiving, the eArchiving, some of the tools. They did a proof of concept, so just a prototype, because they were very worried, not about the specifications, not about the if it would fit, but they were very worried about the performance. So there is this idea that only the private, the proprietary software is running quick and well, and the open source is always very slow and so on. Well, in this proof of concept, spoiler, it was demonstrated that that is not the case. And that's it. Thank you.